Hi everybody, it's Pastor Lillejord from Emmanuel. This coming Sunday is Pentecost Sunday. I have my red golf shirt on. We are encouraging everyone to wear red because that's the color for Pentecost. There are a lot of Sundays where things are kind of point and shoot. Things in the Bible are always nuanced, never simple per se, although love your neighbor is love all your neighbors. That one, and that one too. But Pentecost is great, but it's spectacular. It's from Acts, and the day of Pentecost, a bunch of disciples were sitting around, a bunch of people of God were sitting around. All of a sudden, they would speak in different languages, languages that perhaps they had not taken any online courses, and so they had no reason to be able to speak it. But even more confounding, but also due to the power of God, they could all understand one another, even though they had really no ability on their own to understand one another. But it was to fulfill a promise made by Jesus, actually, back in Luke 24, when he reappeared to the disciples, and he showed up to them, if you will, as a ghost. And I always loved Jesus because they didn't really know that it was Jesus. They were, of course, impressed, but also scared and frightened to believe. And then Jesus asked for some fish, because everybody knows that ghosts do not eat. And as soon as he asked for something to eat, they knew that this was an alive Jesus. And then Jesus does say, "And see, I am sending upon you what my Father promised. So stay here in the city until you have been clothed with power from on high." That was the end of Luke. And then at the beginning of Acts, the scholars believe that this is the fulfillment said by Jesus. Stay put because there's more to come. And with God, there's more to come, because it was spectacular that all of them could speak and they could understand one another. It's kind of funny, and the Bible, as much as we talk about it being heavenly and not earthly, the first thing that everyone thought was happening is that somebody said a couple times in here, well, they must be drunk. And so, God acts in a way, and they're able to understand one another, and they think that it might be whiskey. In fact, it's 2 times in there. And they said, well, it can't be alcohol because it's 9 o'clock in the morning. I actually did have a recovering clergy person say to me once that he did say in his sermon when it was Pentecost, you certainly can't be intoxicated because it's 9 o'clock in the morning. He said, well, I told my congregation as a recovering alcoholic that there were quite a few sermons in the morning that I was full of whiskey, but now he's recovered. And of course he said that with thankfulness for being sober. But I draw it into the element of being earthly, because in the Bible, a long, long time ago, Jesus and God and the Holy Spirit enter these people, and they think it must be alcohol-induced. But God had a plan. God always fulfills what God promises through Jesus. And then the gospel for this Sunday is Jesus promising the advocate, the Holy Spirit. And so what I'm going to work on in the next couple of days and deliver hopefully in a way that's decipherable and something that helps you is the many ways that the Holy Spirit is active in us. But I really like the fact of the Holy Spirit being the advocate, because I know I studied Greek, I studied Hebrew, I studied Spanish, and don't speak all of them very well. But I know that Jesus and the Holy Spirit is with me, is with you, is our friend, is our helper. And this Sunday we'll celebrate the wonderful times when we understand this is miraculous, but we'll also understand that every single day of the week, Jesus, the Holy Spirit, is there to help and guide us. So I'll try to make sense of this. You study, you read, and then I'll see you on Sunday. In the meantime, be well. God bless.